You know, around 10 or 11, I experienced some tough stuff, at molestation, visiting my grandma. She was an in-home care nurse, and the man she cared for, his son, he molested, and at that point, some things began to change within myself. I didn't know what was going on, whether I was the cause of this or, I didn't know. So
How old were you?
I was like 10. I was about 10 or 11, about 10 or 11, and after that, I just stopped going over there. My grandma never knew why I stopped going over there to see her at that house, but that was the reason, and I thought that, like I said, I thought it was my fault. What did I do wrong? Am I inviting this into my life? And I was a young man, young kid going to church with my grandma. So I started going to a different church with my other friend and got baptized. By the time I was 11, 12 years old, I was baptized twice. And at the second church, I had a friend. He tried to do the same thing to me. He tried to do the same thing. I left from his house. He asked me some questions. He said, David, let me ask you something. Don't get mad. He was actually a couple years older than me. I looked up to him. He was a young minister. He actually offered me oral sex. I was like 11, about like 11-ish, close to 12. And I just ran up out of there, man. Ran up out of there, a little bit distraught. Seen a friend of mine named Ricky, and Ricky had a paper bag with a bottle of Old English in it and a paper bag with a can of spray paint. Ricky seen how distraught I was. I knew what was going on. We went across the street to our elementary school where we were going, and I told him what happened, because he knew the guy. He knew the guy too, because he went to school with us, a couple years older than us. And I told him what happened. That would be the first day that I drank alcohol and sniffed paint. And for a few months, I was a little bit out of control, hanging with Ricky. He was my age at the time, 11 to 12, but he already had dropped out of school and everything. So at that time, I started hanging with Ricky and his friends and started doing some wild stuff. I was trying to forget things that happened to me, because I kind of felt like it was my fault. Like, here it is, the one guy, I thought he was like a big brother to me, molested me. Then somebody else I looked up to, he tried to do the same thing. So I began to think that something was wrong with me.